Yeah, there's only one thing I love more than being right. And actually, there's nothing that I love more than being right. We are watching Josh Giddey ascend to all NBA caliber in front of our eyes. Josh Giddey is slowly becoming one of the best point guards in this league, and nobody seems to care. Nobody seems to care. I called it at the time the most win-win trade, um, the Caruso trade, because I was like, Josh Giddey does not help a championship team as a non-off-ball player, but Josh Giddey is unbelievable. Like, we saw what was early in his career with Josh Giddey and why people were so high on Josh Giddey. I saw why people were so high. And at the end of the day, like, I remember tweeting this out. And everyone was going mad, being like, the Kings were close to trading Caruso for the 13th pick. The Bulls instead opted to choose to swap Giddey for Caruso. I tweeted, Giddey is so much better than the number 13 pick. He just played off the court by Dallas in the playoffs. The NBA draft's so bad, Bronny might go in the first round. If Giddey had declared now, said 3 years ago, he's still in 21, he'd be a top 5 pick. And my logic was, I was like, man, Giddey might be the peak of Nikola Topic, who's going to go higher than that. Like, that was what, that was just my opinion of it all. I genuinely thought, like, Josh Giddey could have been something serious. Because we all saw early in his career. But Josh Giddey needed the ball. If you think Josh Giddey is worse than number 13 pick, you're crazy. 6'8" point guards, you can average 16, 18, 8, and 6 on winning teams at 20 years old, don't grow on trees. In fact, outside of Magic/Simmons, I can't remember another one. Everyone going mad about Josh Giddey. It's like, I've already bought South Sudan Serbia flags to be hated number one. I don't know. Giddey couldn't be further. Or someone said, my Euro bias says, Giddey could not have been born further from Europe. Literally could not have been born further from Europe. The number 13 pick is probably going to be Devin Carter, who's a year older than Giddey and not as good as him. Like, this is perfect. This is my perfect I told you so. But that being said, Josh Giddey is literally out here putting up, like, all NBA caliber numbers. They are 5-0, and Josh Giddey just had a 32, 10, and 9 game with 0 turnovers. And shot 4 of 8 from 3. Look, his 3-point shot is becoming acceptable. And that's all I'm going to say for Giddey is, like, I'm not going to say he's ever going to be a good shooter. But if Giddey can become an acceptable shooter, that's all you really need. Be a good enough shooter so they can't completely step off you. But also, play on the ball so that it doesn't really matter that much. Like, if he plays on the ball, it really does not matter what he's how good he is at catching and shooting. Not really going to have to catch and shoot. He is, like, he's averaging 22 points per game, and the Bulls are 5-0. Like, the Bulls are literally top of the Eastern Conference. And this is not like one of those things being like, oh, he's on a Linsanity run, he'll never do this again. Just like Austin Reeves is going through a hot streak. To say that Austin Reeves had not had a really, really good start to his career and has not been really, really good at times in his career is just wrong. Like, but you've now got Josh Giddey, who is easily somebody that I mean this. I think people kind of gave up on him a little bit as a player after that series. Like, I don't really care about the off-court things. Like, we don't know. We don't know anything about the off-court situations with Josh Giddey. Whether or not he was just... With him, it's like, we don't know whether or not he was just extremely young, 19 years old, and got tricked by a fake ID, or whether he freaking did it. Like, there's a huge difference. Whatever we want to say is, like, one is something that literally could happen to anybody. One, you should be locked up. Nobody knows which it is with Giddey. And I hope it was the former. For his own sake, I hope it was the former. And in fairness, from everything, like, I know a few Australian guys that have known Josh Giddey. Not one person has a bad word to say about him. So I'm hoping. I'm hoping it's a case where he got tricked. But either way, it doesn't really matter too much. It doesn't really matter too much. It is like you've got like a player here. He's going to be in the league for 16 years. You got a player that's one of the best point guards in the league, and he's 6'8". Like, he is a 6'8" true point guard. Sure, he wasn't good beside Shea, but you need a Caruso beside Shea. They're the type of players you need beside Shea. You don't need a Giddey beside Shea. It's like putting Giddey beside Luka and expecting him to be good. It's like putting Westbrook beside LeBron and expecting him to be good. You don't need that. You don't need that. And Giddey's showing that that fit is obviously more important than talent. Or sorry, fit is as important as talent. Honestly, fit is as important as talent. But when it comes to Giddey, obviously, he's somebody who had both. It was just, had the talent, the fit just was not there. It was just not there when it came to the Thunder. It just wasn't there, and that's fine. That is absolutely fine, and we're seeing him at his best. And look, Josh Giddey's a fun player to watch. Josh Giddey is a legitimately fun player to watch. So I'm happy to see him doing well, because the NBA is better when there are more fun players to watch. And I don't think people realize that the NBA is in fact better when there are more players that we can enjoy watching. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think Giddey is somebody that is going to be a star? Do you guys think Giddey is going to keep it up as the season goes on? Or do you guys think that, this is a Linsanity run and Giddey is kind of done for? That Giddey will come back down to earth at some stage and it's over. I think it's most definitely the former. I think this is a 22-year-old who is now still not even in his prime, who's developing like a normal 22-year-old. And if you told me after Giddey's rookie seasons or after his sophomore seasons, that Giddey was going to be a all-NBA caliber player or an all-NBA level player by year 2022, 3, 4, 5, by year 5, I would have said, yeah, I believe you. I think this is just a normal progression. I think he had one down year when Shea ascended into superstardom. And again, some of these comments, the Bulls were offered a 10th pick. With that pick, they could have taken somebody that makes more sense than Tobic. Giddey is a decent fit, better options. You're not getting a 6'10 playmaker who can have 16, 6, and 8 in a winning team at 20 years old, the 10th pick. He's like 18 months younger than Connect. In every mock draft, I've seen Tobic dropping out of top 10. Not saying he's top 10 talent. He was my top 8 before, because everybody thought they were like holding out for Tobic. In fairness, they got Matas. They got Matas as well. People were like, oh, they could have got the 10th pick. What could they have done? Taking Cody Williams? Like, that's genuinely one of those things. Like, I've never been so confused about why people are so down on Giddey after one bad series. But that's the thing in the NBA. You can literally, if a player's been great and they have one bum series, you can get them for nothing. You can get them for essentially nothing. And look, the fact is that Thunder still value Giddey and the Bulls value him enough that it is an absolute win-win trade. It is a player where Giddey is the much better player, but Caruso is the much better fit for their team. Straight up. That's pretty much what it was. But anyway, I'll see you guys.